My name's Matt and this is Lauren.
Hi.
So we're going to turn left at the end, so start with your mirrors. Keep steering. That left hand seems to stay still and we end up kind of going towards the middle of the road. He's in a rush to get to the red light. Cover your brake there, Lauren, just in case. Something is coming. I reckon somebody'd have to reverse there. Hello and welcome to the Go-To Driving School YouTube channel. My name's Matt. If you're new to this channel's all about helping you save more and learn faster with online driving lesson videos. Today I'm introducing a brand new customer, as I said, is Lauren. I taught Lauren's brother a number of years back, and he passed with, well, first time, didn't he, with 0 faults.
Yeah. So
it's a pleasure to be teaching Lauren. We've had some proud moments so far teaching Lauren, some very good driving lessons. I've certainly gone away feeling like we've achieved a great deal. How have you found it so far, Lauren?
Yeah, I found it good. It's definitely growing my confidence more.
Fantastic, and I've seen that throughout our time together. Talking about our time together, how many lessons have we done now?
I feel I'm at 12, no, 13 hours?
Yeah, is it hour? I'll have to check this, but I thought it was hour 15 and 16 today. We've done 2 of your new block, possibly.
Might be, yeah.
Either way, we're midway through the second block of 10-ish.
Yeah.
So let's just, obviously, what the plan is now to document the experience going forwards and to, share the journey with you guys. There'll be lots you can learn. I'll be on cue to answer any of your questions on behalf of Lauren and things like that. It'll also be a good opportunity for you to watch your videos back. Do you think you'll watch them back?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, and we're getting lots of new things done with the editing and whatnot, so the video quality is going to go up, and yeah, I guess this will be the first journey in that context, so very exciting times. Yeah, I see you once a week, so there will be a weekly video there. So let's just talk a little bit about kind of just how things are at the moment. Where would you say you're at with your driving? Just in bullet point terms, really.
Doing junctions.
Yeah.
Roundabouts.
Okay.
At the moment. Just like perfecting that.
Was that the main theme of last lesson, was it?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Was it focusing? Yeah. So focusing more on roundabouts. We were doing the single lane roundabouts, weren't we?
Yeah.
In Oakwood, if anybody's local to Derby. That's where we're filming the drive lessons, by the way. Obviously these videos go out all around the UK, around the world really, on YouTube. So yeah, based in Derby. Have we moved on to country roads, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything okay? Good stuff. Is everything okay with that? Am I giving you much guidance and help with these roundabouts, with these country roads?
Probably more with the country roads, but still a bit with the roundabouts again.
Is it when I need to, I'll just sort of step in verbally?
Yeah.
Are you letting me know first, or am I just doing it from just sensing that something's a bit late, and then just giving you?
Probably with both, actually.
Are we going to do the same sort of thing today?
Yeah.
You're quite a competent sort of quick learner, I would say, personally. So I've got a lot of trust in Lauren. Obviously, you know the usual drill. Obviously, I'll use the pedals and whatnot if I need to, you know, or I'll grab the wheel and whatnot. But that rarely needs to happen. Your junction work. How's your junction work doing? I think I remember last week we spent just a little bit of time focusing on some junctions. Was that right?
Yeah.
Or was that somebody else? I see a lot of people every week.
Yeah. There was a bit of junctions as well last week. It's more like perfecting it.
Okay, yeah, there is a lot to them, isn't there? Yeah, there's a lot that goes into the mix when doing junctions. What was it that you were looking to perfect particularly? Which part of it? Just so I can keep my eye on it today, or?
Peeling with the curb, or when the curb feels like go with the curb if you're turning left.
Oh right, yeah. And what's the main reason for that? Well, what's the reason that needs to be the case?
Good positioning, so no one like sneaks through the gap.
Yeah, and also if the mouth of the junction's wide enough at the end, you will allow space the other side of you. What could that space allow?
You were turning right.
You've got it. And do you want me to guide you on anything at all, based on what you know we've already done, apart from the country roads and roundabouts if I need to step in? Is there anything you want me to guide you on specifically? Just getting off.
Like the right time to change gears. Like I'm getting it, but I think I just need a little bit more help.
Is it changing up or down, or both?
Down, I think.
Changing down, yeah, that's always a bit of a trickier one, because you've got to brake and then think, oh well, I'll be doing this speed once I've braked, so I'll prepare now. Well, once you've done a bit of braking, start to change the gear. Yeah, so it's all that's normal in the learning to drive journey. Changing down the gears. Any particular instance that comes up, or just in general?
T-junctions.
T-junctions. Okay, approaching to turn in.
I think coming up to one, when you have to go into like first gear.
Oh, I see. Okay, is that the main thing that sticks out to you?
Yeah.
Got you. Do you want me to keep my eye on? Yeah, because that ties in. Yeah, because that ties into when you position with the curb on the left. That does. Because if your left hand's still selecting first gear, you're not really going to be able to steer over with the curb with your right hand, because that's the only hand that's free at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a bit of help with that then at the beginning, shall I? Just make sure that you're getting that in time.
Yeah.
We want it before. Do you remember the reference for it?
For changing gears.
Yeah, into first.
One calling.
Roughly, because that normally is the point where the curb's not quite starting to go yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as we're not, like you say, leaving gaps that things can get through, like cyclists and stuff, because they won't hesitate, they'll come straight through. Often. Okay, so yeah, any final thoughts or anything you want to go over, or anything you'd like to add in today? I'm sure we'll sort of change, we normally change the plan as we go through, don't we, and adapt to what's needed. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Probably the roundabouts with 2 lanes.
Yes, that'll be nice, because that will link us, yeah, the country lanes, link that together a bit more.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think what we'll do then, we'll get started over here, get you within the estate and whatnot, get you practicing the things we've just said, first gear, position the curb, and then we'll venture out and start linking it all up, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it. Alright then, so drive on when you're ready. And you're okay with the hills and that, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
Uphill junctions, yeah. Just pop a signal on prior, I would. It's fairly controlled, isn't it? Dogs on a lead, and is that what you were thinking? Okay, and we'll turn left at the end, please, sorry. That's why you don't cut corners. So I'd go, well, you're already in first, aren't you? So just following that curve, just look through that glass there. Just try and see it peeling off that bit earlier, yeah?
Yeah.
No worries. So what are you going to do next, so that you don't roll backwards? Good stuff. It's got clutch control. Good decision making. So at the end of the road we're going to turn left, and we're going to be looking out for when that curb peels away. Not much of a peel on this one, but we're going to put a little angle on. So clutch down, first gear there, and then it peels away there. So keep steering, that's it. Do you normally put the steering wheel in a little bit so you got more arm room?
Yeah, that might be good.
Just looking at your arms, they just look quite... the bend on your arm looks quite significant, basically. Just wants to be a slight bend. Do you remember, like the bend on the knee?
Yeah.
You okay with this, yeah? Just stop there. Stop. What gear are you going to select now then? That's it. Don't worry. I think we'll pull up on the left if you can. Somewhere near where those pedestrians are, obviously alongside the curb. I was just thinking we might be double parked, then it'll give you opportunity to put your steering wheel right. Steer right. Stop there. Stop. Okay. Alright then.
I'll turn the signal off.
Because the road's so dotted around with cars everywhere and quite busy, it won't be a bad thing just to leave it on for the short time that we're here.
Yeah.
We're blocking this driveway slightly, and I think that highlights that today you've been a bit slow with getting a particular pedal down.
Yeah.
What pedal's that?
Clutch.
Yeah. Doing your braking nice, but the car's starting to go.
Yeah.
What's all that about? What's the car saying?
It's gonna stall.
Yeah, so you need to remedy it by getting the clutch down. So don't be shy with it.
Yeah.
You are covering it, I believe. So if you're covering it, get it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brake, clutch down. And don't worry if it's slightly early. If it's slight, there's not going to be much in it. If it's a full-on coast, like you feel like you lose control, you'll know about it and you'll learn from it. So just actively just get it down a bit earlier, and I guarantee you'll have more success with what you're doing, basically. Did you understand why we needed to hold back in that meeting situation? I've seen you do loads of them successfully. Do you understand why the car nearly stalled going up that first junction where we turned left? The first one on where we moved off from.
I'm not sure.
Just because the car was rumbling, just didn't get the clutch down quite in time. And remember, on the uphill junctions, you've got to get it down particularly early because you need to do a particular thing with the feet and the car. Do you remember what?
Yeah, go straight to revs.
Straight to revs, yeah, and balance it, and then edge. Your clutch control and edging forward was great after that, so we had a massive problem, but if there's a car behind them, might not expect you to just stop like that, do you know what I mean? And they could end up rear-ending you. So, I think that's it really, yeah. Do you want to pop your steering wheel forwards?
Yeah. How do you do that?
It's on the left side, underneath. Just lean a bit further forwards. To the left, you'll feel a lever. Pull that towards you. And just push that then all the way in. All you need to make sure is that you can see over here. I think that's the tallest part anyway, and that you can see your miles per hour. And that you're happy with the, the distance with your knees and whatnot. Okay, and then just lock it back in place. Most newer cars will do that. Not all will go in, out and up and down, but most will go at least in and out.
Yeah.
I think. Or up and down. Depends on the make. Is that not something you normally do then?
I don't think so, no. No.
Do you know what I think? And I thought this when you sat in, that you sat a bit closer than you usually are.
Yeah, probably.
I did, and I think that's why I've thought, that's why you appear to be close. Just do your clutch test again for me. Yeah, I think you could be a little bit further back than that.
Okay.
Maybe. Only a couple of notches, but I think it'd make a difference. That's it. And just do another clutch test and see if that still works. Still works, doesn't it? Looks quite comfy there, and your arms still look fairly good. So I think that's going to help you just with the.
Yeah.
Is this a word? The fluidity of getting to your pedals and using them. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you want to go over?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just going to just maybe up the instruction a little bit, just to settle things down a bit, just because it's the beginning of the lesson and whatnot. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Just with, you know, timing and stuff like that, and you'll soon find your way again. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll drive on when you're ready. Don't forget to cancel that left signal before you move off. Blind spot that time?
Didn't I?
I don't know, I weren't sure. Maybe half a check?
Probably I didn't, yeah.
Just have a good check over.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it that I've got in my head, you know, when we had that meeting situation back there, you didn't check your mirrors before you moved off? I think it's because you're thinking about your pedals. Okay, so covering the brake and clutch, brake, clutch down. Good. And off the brake, let us roll. First gear while we're rolling, well before we reach the gear. Checking your mirrors, centre right, revs on first, steady clutch, no rush. Sounds a lot different to last time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We've just been a bit early with everything, even the mirrors before we get gone. So we're going to turn left at the end. I'll let you do your mirrors and whatnot, I know you're absolutely fab with that. And I'd go clutch now, because we're at a low speed, I'd go clutch before brake, I would. Bit of brake here, just a touch, and the curb's going to peel. Set the revs here, and you can edge then, because it's closed here anyway, you can't see. And I'll leave this with you, because you're absolutely terrific at this. Keep steering. So if we've got a bus coming through, we don't want to be going onto the side. Good work with the centre mirror, but try and interpret what you're seeing. You see that car catching up there, we're not really speeding up too much.
Mm-hmm.
Is it anything to do with this lorry? Okay, can you see? If you position over a bit more, could you see a bit more, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay, so clutch down, first gear off the brakes. Revs, holding bite point. Revs, holding bite, keep coming up on the clutch to hold him, so you don't roll back and freeze. Don't go any closer to the van. Check your centre and your right mirror, and then I'll leave you the judge for ahead because I can't see. Is that okay? Is it just reassuring you a bit, this instruction?
Yeah.
Tell me if you think it's a bit much. This is better with the speed. Well done. So we're pulling away from the vehicles behind there rather than slowing them down. Well done. We're going to follow the road to the end, Lauren, and then we're going to turn left. That's it, I'll just help you with the timing. So cover clutch, clutch there, slower, 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 slower. Right, okay. There's a couple of things there where I couldn't tell you to do it because we didn't slow down to give yourself time to take your hand off the steering wheel to do it. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll turn right now to a position, so pop your right signal on, so I think that's better now at this position, in this point. Just check your right mirror, make sure nothing at the side. First gear, set your revs. We're not quite at the lines, are we? So both ways while you're waiting, because I think if you'd have looked right, not just left, what do you reckon you could have done potentially?
Gone.
Yeah, so you get a better perspective of everything that's going on. Good, that's better obs. Fabulous. Good. And what are you going to do in this new road so that we don't hold anybody up? And as a, yes. Right, so the car didn't slow down on the last one. Did you feel? And yes, it was all downhill, but we've got to be earlier and thicker earlier on the brakes because of that. power then.
Don't stop.
I'd stop, yeah. Brake, 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 clutch down, first gear. Start to steer right slightly. Got room for us in the car, it's not quite as wide. Check your right mirror. And we'll stick in first, alright? So we're going to turn left at the end, so you start with your mirrors. That's it, now keep us with the curve. Clutch there, first gear. I think you're already still in it, so looking right. Okay, no worries. So how are we looking? Good stuff. Keep steering. That left hand seems to stay still and we end up kind of going towards the middle of the road. So what colour lights have we got?
Red.
That's it. We're going to take the next road on the left as well. Alright, so pop your left signal on, first gear. Okay. Revs on. And let's go. Any cyclists on the left, last check, catching up? Try not to slow down too much, obviously bearing in mind we can't see, but we've got that truck behind us. So if we got half turning and then he's off, he might think he's carrying on and be looking down the road, not at you, and clip you. And then, could you pull up on the left between the blue car and the white van, please? First gear, set the revs, balancing, and now you can edge yourself forward before you were to roll backwards. A bit like the junction stuff, uphill junction stuff. It's good. Okay, so few things going on. How would you describe the drive so far?
I'm still leaving things till last minute.
Yeah, just seem to be lacking that little bit of confidence that you usually got. I think try and get back to it if you can. Try and just grab the bull by the horns and say, yeah, I'm just gonna beat Matt to it and just be that one step ahead, because I think you can be. The alternative is, we agree that it's like full on instruction. At this point, it's a bit awkward for me because it can be. It's like I'm half. No, you can do it, and you have done it, and it's like, shall I? Shan't I say it? She's doing it. Oh. So it's one of those. It can be a bit. What would be best for you at this stage? Do you think, from what, in terms of just getting things off here?
Probably full instruction for a little bit.
Yeah.
Until I get used to it again.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay then. So I'll certainly do that. All right. So, and then we'll pull up in 10 minutes or whatnot, see how it goes, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. Just play it by ear, really.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. As long as learning's taking place, and of course, confidence will be building as a result. You know. So we'll drive on when you're ready. Oh, I forgot to ask you. What would be, based on your last drive, what would be a nice target for you to achieve today? You know, by the end of the session, how would you like to feel?
Just doing everything a bit sooner.
So getting the timing in.
Yeah. Especially with the clutch and stuff.
Don't worry about going too early. Just try it. Just keep doing it. If it's way too early, obviously it'll be obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. And at low speed, you remember, it is okay. In fact, you need to go that before you even start braking at low speed. Do you remember why?
Because the high speeds, you brake first, then clutch down.
That's it. And at low speeds, you can't do that because it rumbles, and it just makes everything jerky and not smooth. So. Yeah, and I'd say that's first gear, low end, second gear speed-ish, that kind of territory, in this car anyway, so yeah, okay. So we'll drive on when you're ready. I think you're okay moving off and pulling in though, aren't you? I think that's safe to say. You've done that many times successfully. So I'll leave that with you. I'll only chip in if I need to. Stuff. Okay. So just looking through that gap there, look for anything coming. I'd be getting into this gap early, just in case something does come all around from the, I think there's a junction there or something. A little bit of power now, we can see it's clear in second gear. We can see the junction coming up at the end of the road, yeah? And there we're going to turn left at the end, so I'll let you start with your mirrors and your signal. And just now I'd just cover the brake and the clutch. I'd brake a tiny bit now, clutch down first gear, go. There's the curb peeling. Touch your brake there, but not stopping, get into the lines. A bit more with the curb looking through that glass, that's good. Set the, it's downhill, so keep looking. Set the revs while you're looking, because it appears to be. Set revs, steady on the bike, keep with the curb. Good. And just looking through that window, keep that left-hand steering into your own side. Second gear. Good. And I think you believed you check your centre mirror there, didn't you? And turning left at the end. So mirrors, signal, braking, brake, clutch down first gear, and then the curb peels. Bit slower, focusing on the curb for now. Bit slower, bit more steer. Look right, look left, look right. All the way to your lines. And while it's rolling to the lines, if it's clear, set revs, fine bite. Now looking through here, at that curb, keep it on your own side. Sorry, not looking through there, glancing through there, looking is the wrong word to use in that situation, but you know what I mean, I think. Cover your brake and your clutch here, Lauren, checking your mirror, there's nothing behind, is there? And after this black one, do you think we'll be going? If we are, we'll check the mirrors in advance, centre and right, yeah? Back on the revs, in around we come, not too wide, establishing that straight edge, straight line, straight through. Keep straight, keep straight, keep straight. Us and the red van can work together. Now pointing zigzagging in and out because it'll give the wrong impression. And second gear, we could have got that there when I was busy talking about other things. And again, if you think you can, okay, so cover the brake and clutch, check in the middle mirror. Are we going to need to put clutch down, or is he going to get gone nifty style? Yeah, he's gone. He's done that before, I reckon, you. So checking your centre and your right mirror, coming out past this Ford KA, steering, that's it, straight line, straight past. And at the end of the road, this time going to turn right, so checking your centre and your right mirror, signalling right. Cover your brake, clutch, good, you already are, I think you're getting back into it already. Starting to brake now, brake, and clutch, first gear, all the way to your lines, a bit slower though, but not stopped though. Looking left and right, setting your revs if it appears to be clear, last look left, and there we go, you're getting back to your old self now. Alright then, it happens. We're going to turn right, next road on the right here, mirror signal, that's it, just covering your pedals, awesome, good stuff, back on the gas, powering it, straight through the middle, straight through, no steering left in this gap or anything, straight through, plenty of cars right and left, so there could be people about to step out that we don't see in advance, so that's why I wouldn't select third gear yet. Looking ahead, looks to be a bend, looks quite sharp. Just because of that blue car, the angle of that compared to that silver Volvo that's sticking out, do you see what I mean? Let's look for reflections or anything in the house windows or car body panels of anything that could be coming. I'd cover the brake and clutch here, and I'd keep as tight with the curb as you could within reason. Why do you think that could be important?
Kind of staying to our side of the road in case someone does come around.
That's it. Right. We've got another junction coming up at the end. I'm going to turn left at that. We're going to sort of follow that curve, get to the lines, not too fast and all that lot, which you've done a fantastic job with the last one. Well done. And then your feet covering. starting to brake slightly downhill, would you agree? Clutch first. There's the curb, just starting to peel there. Bit slower, but not stopping. Set revs. Keep looking. Revs on. Steady bite. And off we go. Lovely stuff. Fancy doing the next one by yourself, or do you want to keep this going for a bit longer?
I might try it by myself.
Go on then. Just tell you in advance then. Do you want to deal with this? Yeah, so I'll leave this all with you. At the end, we'll turn right at the end of the road, yeah? Bit more tricky this one because it is bendy, so just bear that in mind. Bendy on approach. Yeah, slower and well done. Could you take the next road on, after you've gone second, next road on the right as well? Do that by yourself. Are you alright with this and what to do with your feet? Yeah, so, okay, yeah, looks like you've got it. Yeah, good. Nice timing there. Is he going to step backwards, do you reckon? Maybe. Looks like a big unit, we don't want him stepping into the car, do we? So how are you feeling?
I'm better now.
Yeah?
Yeah. Good work there, good anticipation. And we'll take the next road on the right, Lauren. It's after the red van on the right there. I'll leave this one to you. Followed us in? Yeah.
Good to know, because when we get to the junction at the end it might still be behind us. Is it behind us still?
No.
No, good to know. And when we get to the end we'll turn left. Do you think you'll be alright with that?
Yeah.
Nice positioning. Keep steering, keep steering. Good. You just need that just a touch earlier. So if there's anything, obviously, well, that's all anything I said, but that's the only thing really you could be improving there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe be a bit sharp with your revs, a bit more on, a bit earlier.
Yeah.
And then we'll take the second, this one being the first, road on the left. So the next road on the left now. To get to the red light. Just got to be your brake there, Lauren, just in case. Quite close, and then if somebody is coming, I reckon somebody'd have to reverse there. You know.
Yeah.
When we get to the end, we'll turn left, please. That's something I want to go over with you in a minute. Glad to see you back to your best, by the way. Better steering there, a bit neater, a bit closer. And then take the next road on the left, please. That's better, yeah, like bigger movements with the arms, so you got more pull on the wheel. Could you pull up on the left, please? Lovely stuff. Okay, right. Anything you want to go over?
When I was pulling in, did I do the gear change at the right time then?
Yes, you kind of was running out of momentum. I think the road slightly slopes uphill. So yeah. In fact, I'm not sure. Did you use the clutch actually, or did you just keep the current roll going? Did you come back up on the clutch a little bit and make it go? I didn't really. You was all taking care of it so well. I just thought, well, she's whatever way she's done it, she's dealt with it, so it's not really an issue in my mind. I wish I had been.
I think I was using it a bit.
Just to keep the wheels turning.
Braking a bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all fine.
Down. Yeah.
All fine. It's I mean, it's got us past that driveway and not blocking that driveway, so quite happy with that.
Yeah.
All the times you've pulled in today, to be honest. Now, earlier on was, and I did notice a few things that I've not mentioned particularly, but to me, knowing you and knowing how the lessons are, it's not those things that a particular issue. This is why I didn't mention. I think it's just sort of like, I don't know, mindset or whatever coming into today. But one thing that I need to go over that I think that hasn't necessarily been covered, that does need to go over, is the lights, the pedestrian crossings earlier.
Yeah.
We had a particular colour and a particular thing that it was doing. Can you remember what it was?
Was it flashing amber?
Yeah.
It means go when clear.
It does.
Yeah.
Any reason you weren't going, or did you not perceive it as clear, or did you not think about that, or what was?
Wasn't even thinking about
Weren't
it.
you?
No.
Was you a bit? What?
I knew what it meant. But
Yeah.
Don't know.
No probs. Well, that's what this is about anyway. Just sort of going over it and that. Have we been over them?
No.
I've got a feeling that was what we was going to look at today and incorporate that into what was already doing. Just a bit more, yeah. Like like high street type stuff.
Yeah, like crossings. I remember them.
Right. So, shall we? Do you feel like you want to sort of add that in soon, or do you want to do what you've already done last week next and move on to that kind of last?
I think that would be a good thing to learn quickly.
To what? Sorry.
To learn soon.
To do it now, sort of thing. Yeah. Just want to make sure your mind's right for it. Okay. I agree. Now, obviously we've got 3 colours, so you've told me what flashing amber means. So if you see flashing amber, it's never going to follow a green.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a solid amber, because obviously it's about to change to red. Have you done your theory yet? You've not, have you?
No, I've booked it.
That's good. When you booked it for?
30th. Monday.
30th of July?
Yeah.
Good stuff. And you've got your app and everything? Are you getting on okay?
Yeah.
And the hazard perception, everything good with that?
Yeah. Not that good.
I've got a little do you find that you ever get 0 on the hazard perception?
Yeah, it's when, like, I find that I notice things before it's the thing.
Too good for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, no, it's common that. Have you got a system that you've worked out to overcome that?
I think when I notice it, like, just press it like once and then wait a second, press it again.
That's the one. Click, click. Click, click. That's what I do, something like that.
Yeah.
You won't score 0 for it. Unless you go click, 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 click. So yeah, what we're going to go over then, it'll help with your theory. I'm going to grab a little visual. I'm not going to go over absolutely everything, but I am going to just make sure everything's covered. We'll cover light controlled crossroads and more advanced crossings later on in the training, but just for now, so that we so that there's no misunderstandings, that we are clear on everything. Because they are high-risk situations, people in a rush aren't paying attention, still eating the chocolate bar from the shops and whatever. So yeah, let's just make sure we know what we're doing. Let's find that. Okay, so I mean, we've been through, as you know, we've been through the odd few, but we've not really done any sort of high street driving. So first of all, obviously just look out for them in a distance, just because they're dead obvious, aren't they? And same as the zebra crossings, got the big black boxes and the flashing lights. Here's one for you. These flash amber all day long, these, don't they? You've seen them before. What do you think that means then, in its principle? You tell me what the pedestrian crossing means if that flashes amber.
Going for you.
And it's got broken lines, hasn't it? So you see, that's all it does. So it's like give way if you need to. And then there's some of those over at the other end of Chad, isn't there? Which I believe have used. So yeah. White zigzags. Any ideas what they mean? You always get these looking approach to crossings, or pedestrian crossings anyway.
I'm not sure.
It means no parking.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you parked, somebody would have to overtake, and that's the other rule. So it's no parking, no overtaking, but no overtaking the lead motor vehicle. So what could you overtake during this zigzagged zone? What isn't motorised?
Cyclists.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think you can't overtake motor vehicles but you can overtake cyclists?
Because cyclists aren't as big.
Yes.
So you can see further.
Good stuff. You've been watching the videos on this?
Probably have.
Yeah. Good stuff. It shows. In fact, just for those watching, you when we met up, you'd already watched all the lessons, and my lessons have advanced since then. I believe it's an advancement, so they are different, but they still kind of share the same information. It's just the way it's put across, I think. And that really helped with the first so many lessons, didn't it?
Yeah. Coming
in already prepared, knowing kind of what was going to be done roughly, and so I was just using Q&A rather than telling you all the time.
Yeah.
So for those watching, if you get an opportunity to record your lesson with your instructor, then I'd definitely do it. Anyway, so no parking, no overtaking the lead motor vehicle. If you park, you'll force somebody to overtake, and you wouldn't see. Like I say, you wouldn't see. So moving on, what's red mean?
Stop.
And what's green mean?
Go.
But what does, when it goes solid red and solid amber, have you noticed that? The ones that don't flash amber, it goes solid red, solid amber, and then green. So what that means is you can't go legally past the line until it's green.
Okay.
But make sure that you're prepared for when it is actually green, that you kind of, your handbrake is already off and the wheels are about to start moving. Because if you prepare on green, what do you think will happen?
You just hold people up.
Exactly.
And the lights might change or whatever.
So it depends how advanced you are with that, I guess, but definitely make sure that everything's prepared, and as soon as it's green, handbrake is going off. Alright, now you're moving forwards. What could catch up when you stopped at lights?
Cycling.
Could do. So what mirrors are we going to check?
Centre and left.
Yeah. The central shows what's behind, of course, won't it? Or anything that could come from behind and overtake. And the left, obviously, things catching up. Could things overtake on the right while we're stationary? Bikes, motorbikes?
Yeah.
So check that as well. I'd do all three, personally, just for an update. Identify where the solid white line is, you know. Because I want to talk about amber if it turns to amber on approach, because that's always probably the trickiest. So you spotted the lights. Somebody stood there, so you're anticipating them changing. This is a big thing of it, the anticipation. It's a weird thing to explain for me. It's like you're not going to keep at the same speed almost, but you're not going to slow down as such. You're kind of anticipating the lights changing and being prepared to stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you've got to use sound judgment, because there's always that point where it's like a point of no return. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Kind of like too late to stop.
Yeah. So if we were doing 5 mile an hour and we were here, I reckon we'd have time to stop. Depending on how close the car behind was. You were there.
Yeah.
But if you were doing 20 mile an hour or 15 mile an hour here, you wouldn't have time to stop, would you?
No.
So I always, when I'm driving towards them, I think, right, even if it changes now, I'm not stopping. And be dead sure about it and dead confident about it, because if you get it wrong, I'll stop you today. And, you know, I'll take control. But if it's only marginally, we can discuss it. It can be a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's dangerous to run an amber because you might have somebody on the other well, if it's a light control junction, this is somebody on the other side running an early green when it's just changing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you go through, they go through early, you go through late, could meet. So yeah, I think so. What we've done, we've talked about the different light sequences. If we'd stop, it's based on the white line as well, so identify where your white line is. If you're here and you're doing 15, you might have time to stop. But again, also the best way to think of it is stop if it's safe to. What's another factor?
Cars behind.
Yeah, which is why as soon as you spot the lights, check the mirror. A bit like we do when we approach junctions, you know. But the basic principle is before we slow down. Period.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell. If it's round a bend, you'll see the warning triangle, so that it doesn't catch you out.
Sure.
If you see a zebra crossing with a central island in the middle like that, do you know what that means?
No.
Just separates it into two. So if somebody stood with their back
Oh, okay.
to you, you can drive straight through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the central island. This warning triangle indicates just a crossing. In general, I've seen them where there's not zebra crossings. It's just like an allocated sort of crossing point for pedestrians. And why would it be dangerous to wave somebody across? Let's say it was flashing amber. Why would it be dangerous to go, yeah, go on? Or a zebra crossing, yeah, go on, you cross. What's the danger?
You don't know if other cars are going to let them go.
Yes, and they can end up getting hurt. Flashing is the same. I think we covered it when we went over meeting.
Yeah.
So I think that's everything there, mainly. So identifying the lights, seeing if anybody's pressed to them, checking to make sure it's safe, identifying your distance. One thing I haven't mentioned, when you stopped, obviously use common sense. If you're only going to be a second, then think about it, or 2 seconds when you stop. Why is it generally going to be good to put the handbrake on, do you think, if you've stopped and there's pedestrians walking in front of you?
It's easier to get off.
Could be, yeah. Keeps you steady, particularly if it's on a hill.
Yeah.
But more so if somebody hits you from behind, or you bounce off the clutch or whatever, forget what you're doing and stall, you're not likely to, or you're less likely to run these people over that are in front of you.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's it on the whole. I would encourage you to learn the difference between a pedestrian crossing, a pelican crossing and a puffin crossing. These are the two main types. Do you know the difference?
No, not really.
So a pelican crossing is the one that flashes amber.
Okay.
Right. The reason it flashes amber is because it's not got the sensors that the newer type have got to tell the crossing when to change back.
Oh yeah.
The newer type detect when you've crossed and change it back, but the older type don't, so they have a set period of flashing. So it's up to the driver to decide, much like the older crossings, zebras. So that's quite in depth there, but I think that's everything that we need. Any thoughts, any questions?
No.